We are live now.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Muslim Platform. Today we will be, this is the start of a new series, which is the Positive Psychology series. And today we are joined by our guru, Mr. Ishaq, Yinka, Ogunnusi. And he's going to talk to us about learned helplessness. So if you're wondering what learned helplessness is, he would go in detail about it. But I'd just like to share a quick introduction for you. So usually every one of us at some point would be in a bad situation, and we would tend to think we'll do whatever we can to escape it. However, the truth of how we actually act is different. It's based on psychological evidence. Usually what happens is, if we feel we're not in control of our destiny or in any situation we're in, usually what would happen is we would give up and accept that situation. Now, a lot of people might disagree and say, well, actually, I'm one of the few who would actually do everything they can to escape it. But actually, that is not the case. And to share more light into this, I'll be handing over to Guru, who is going to talk to us about this today. So over to you, Mr. Ishaq.
First of all, I would say thank you very much for the Muslim Platform, for giving us the rare opportunity to share my thought with yourself, Tawfiq Abdul Salam, or the Muslim Platform family. Thank you very much for giving us such a rare opportunity. I'll be sharing my screen. Can we see my screen okay?
Yes, you can.
Fantastic. So the talk is going to be about that very ayah, and we're going to find out in a sec. Now I'm going to share a slide with you now. I'm going to ask you in the name of Allah to be very sincere with yourself. Just pick a number, any number that comes to mind. Pick a number and just make a mental note of that number. And this is very personal. So husbands and wives, do not share your number with yourself. And parents, do not pressure the children to share their number with you. Nothing too spooky. It's just like you getting on the scale in the bathroom, but this is just some like you measuring some numbers we're going to work with later on around how we think and approach things. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, when things don't go to plan, what do you do? Leaning more towards 1 means that you look outward for who to blame, and leaning more towards 10 means you look inward for what to change. Learned helplessness, learning to unlearn in order to relearn. Let's take a walk under moonlight. Hold my hands, come with me, and I'll tell you a story. It's the story of the 5 monkeys. More of an experiment, actually. 5 monkeys were captured. For the purpose of this presentation, we call them the 5 original monkeys. So 5 monkeys were captured and put in a cage, quite not similar to an environment they used to before. They used to be in the jungle, but now they captured and put in this cage. 5 monkeys captured in a cage in a totally strange environment, accepted. Now 5 monkeys captured in a cage, and what they did is that we had banana, which is the food of the monkey, on top of the wall in that cage, but far away from the reach of the monkey. However, there was also a ladder kneeling on the wall should the monkeys choose to do what they do best, climbing the ladder and reaching for the banana. Now, obviously, monkeys are hungry, instinct, monkey see banana, monkey wanna eat banana. Nothing wrong with that. So the first of the 5 original monkeys made an attempt looking at the banana up the wall, quite high. However, good enough, there is a ladder there, so I'll make a climb to reach for the banana and quench my hunger. So the first of the 5 original monkeys made an attempt to climb the ladder. However, it was met with a very cruel treatment. It was sprayed with an excruciatingly painful cold water. It tried again, it was sprayed with excruciatingly painful cold water. He made another attempt, it was sprayed again, tried as much as he did. It was sprayed continuously with excruciatingly painful cold water. It didn't take long before the first of the 5 original monkeys got the message and he resigned to the corner of the cage, never to try again. He has learned to be helpless. Although the banana is still on the wall, the ladder is still kneeling on the wall. The banana is there for the monkey to reach. The monkey is still hungry. However, he has learned to be helpless because immediately he makes an attempt for what it feels is normal to do. It got an excruciatingly spraying of cold water. So original monkey 2 made another attempt to say, okay, maybe monkey 1 did not actually get some things right. Original monkey 2 tried to climb the ladder to say, let me rescue the situation. He climbed the ladder and also met the same fate as the first original monkey. He also tried. He tried again, and even the first one got a little bit more confidence and joined him. They both tried reaching for the banana by climbing the ladder. However, they got excruciatingly cold water spray treatment. The third of the original 5 monkeys said, you know what, maybe 2 of you have failed. I'll have a go. I'll climb the ladder. That is what we should do. That is what we are known for. Monkeys should climb, and banana is there. We all must eat, and the ladder is kneeling on the wall. I'll make a go. The 3rd monkey tried to climb, and also the same fate. He met this excruciatingly painful spray water on the way, and he also, like the first 2 before him, resigned to the corner of the cage. Now we have 3 of the original monkeys now who have made attempts and met a very excruciatingly painful cold water treatment, and they resigned to the corner of the cage. The 4th monkey tried, same thing. The 5th monkey said, okay, you know what? I've watched you guys try and fail. It's quite painful, that excruciatingly painful water. I can see it from here. However, I'll give it a go. So the 5th monkey tried as much as possible as he did. He tried, and all the 4 monkeys before him also joined to say, okay, let's try. But again, the excruciatingly cold water was there, stopping them from climbing the ladder to get the banana. So it got to a time that all the 5 original monkeys got the message. They learned to be helpless. So they all resigned to the corner of the cage, never to try again, and they were happy not trying again because they can rationalize the reason why they are not trying. There is danger in the way. Now the experiment continued. The experiment continued, removing the first of the 5 original monkey and systematically introducing a new monkey. Now we have 4 original monkeys and 1 new monkey. Now, the 1 new monkey that is in there now has never seen a cold water spray. In fact, the cold water spray treatment already stopped. It's been long stopped. Immediately, all the 5 original monkey got the message. So 4 helpless monkeys now who have really comfortably learned to be helpless because they have a perceived lack of control. Now we have a new monkey coming into the picture. The new monkey now try to climb. Normally, monkey should climb, and normally monkey is hungry and there is banana up there. He tried to climb, but what they did, the 4 original monkeys brought him down and gave him the beating of his life. Now there is no more cold water. The issue is just that as much as he tried, the new monkey, the 4 original monkeys keep giving him a beating of his life until he also got the message. He also learned to be helpless. Now the banana is still on the wall and the ladder is still kneeling on the wall. The banana is still on the wall just like all your aspirations. And the ladder is still kneeling on the wall, just like all opportunities that Allah will throw at you. However, the 4 original monkey and the 1 new monkey have all learned to be helpless, and they think they cannot change their situation. However, remember, there is no more cold water treatment. So what they fear actually now doesn't exist, but they have learned to accept that it exists. That is learned helplessness. The experiment continued to remove number 2 of the original monkey and also introduce a 2nd new monkey. Now you have 3 original monkeys and 2 new monkeys. Your guesses are as good as mine what happened. The new monkey tried to reach for the banana, and yes, he got a beating of his life, and he joined the other monkeys, now 3 original monkeys and 2 new monkeys, all comfortably learned how to be helpless. They will not reach for the banana. They will stay there rather starving. They are hungry. This is death facing them, and they are facing death. However, all the opportunities to solve their problem is right there in front of them, the ladder, and their aspiration, the banana, is still on the wall, but they have all learned to be helpless. Now, the experiment continued until systematically all the 5 original monkeys were taken away from the cage. Now we now have 5 new monkeys. 5 new monkeys who had never seen the cold water spray, 5 new monkeys who have never experienced the cold water spray, 5 new monkeys who will never experience the cold water spray. However, they have learned to be helpless. Why they are helpless, they do not know, but they know that they are hungry. If they don't find a solution to their hunger, they will die of hunger. However, the banana is still on the wall. Now the ladder is still kneeling on the wall. They will not climb that ladder because they have learned to be helpless. Now, the perceived lack of control they have is what we call transgenerational learned helplessness. It has been passed to them from one generation to the other, and now they are in the cage. And there is nowhere for them to go. They are there and they are hungry and they won't do anything about it. My brothers and sisters, I will tell you tonight that you have some learned helplessness around your life, faces of it. What is it that holds you back, that say you don't have enough confidence to achieve what you want to achieve? What is that contract you have been chasing? And what do you say to yourself before you leave home for that contract? Every time you go for an interview, you wonder, why don't I pass the interview? What am I doing at the interview? Can I do anything to improve? What am I doing wrong? Could it be possible that you have actually failed that interview before you step out of your door because you think you're not good enough for the interview? Most times what happens to you in your life and how you approach things in your life, the effort you put into things depends on what you feel about yourself. Am I good enough to achieve this? Now, allow it throw to you opportunities in life, just like that ladder on there. That is your opportunity. The banana on the wall is also what? Your aspiration. Allah is the creator of opportunities. However, there is one thing you must understand about opportunity. Opportunity is a fantastic friend, but it wastes no time with procrastinators. You grab it when you can. You drop it like hot potato, it's gone. So you have to, there are some programming in your mind that are wrapped around learned helplessness. What tells you that you're not good enough? Things will just not be right for you because nobody has ever been good in your family. Or things will not be right for you because that is how it is. Rather than you going inward to see what to change, what you always do is to go outward to see who to blame. Whatever it is that is wrong with you, whatever it is that needs fixing, doesn't have to do with you, it has to do with something external. What is the game gonna be? Are you gonna keep looking outward for what to change? I mean, for who to blame and what to blame, or are you gonna go inward to see what to change? Now you see those monkeys in the cage, they can rationalize their failure till kingdom come. They can say anything to themselves. They can give excuses, 1,000,001 excuses. But one thing I must make you know, there are 1,000,001 ways to make $1,000,000. You need to only know one. And also there are 1,000,001 ways, all right, for you not to act, you need to only know one. Now, the monkeys in that cage, they could say, oh, if only we could have 2 more ladders, that would make things so fantastic. The ladder is not enough for us. Or maybe it's the texture or it's the color of the cage. Maybe if we kind of paint this cage in a very nice maroon color, maybe we even need an air condition in this cage. Or maybe we need Sky TV in this cage. The monkeys needing Sky TV. How ridiculous. They could give themselves all rationalization for their failure, but that won't change that situation. What are the things you have been rationalizing and rationalizing rather than you going inward to see what to change? You blame everything and everybody but yourself. You can blame the government, you can blame the color of your skin, you can blame the tone of your voice, you can blame your father for not sending you to the right school, but you don't ever go inward to see what can I possibly change. But where the power is for you to connect with yourself. If you cannot connect with yourself to see what to change, then you cannot connect with other people. If you're going for an interview and you cannot connect with yourself from home to say to yourself, I am more than good enough. Good enough is good enough. I am more than good enough. I'm going to get that job. You go into the interview, you sit in front of the panelists, you open your mouth, you're saying the right thing, but it lacks substance. What is that business opportunity you're going for? Do you believe in communicating in the customer's language in order for you to hit that deal? But for you to communicate in the customer's language, you need to be able to communicate in your own language to yourself. But for you to be able to communicate in your own language to yourself, you must first of all fine-tune the innovative part of yourself. Your innovative mind have got some learned helplessness wrapped around it that is telling you you're not good enough. You need to remove those cysts and say to yourself, I am more than good enough and I am going to achieve my objectives. So learned helplessness doesn't only affect your worldly affairs, it affects your deen. And the tool that will make you really immerse yourself in learned helplessness is you actually procrastinating things. Just as the monkeys in that cage will procrastinate getting to get on that ladder, just as they will rationalize everything, so do we do in some aspect of our lives. And that has been in generation. When people don't want to do something, all right, they find a reason. It's very easy for us to find a reason not to act than it is for us to find a purpose to move. If you go into the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, you will see that when Musa was approaching the Bani Israel, they were the one actually that approached Musa. They were the one that approached Musa to say, hey, we need to sort something out here. There is a murder case and we need to sort it out. And Almighty Allah said to them, go and slaughter a cow. Now they procrastinated so much that by the time you go into Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2 of the Quran, you would wonder, excuse me, you were just asked to slaughter a cow. What message didn't you get? What did you struggle with? Is it the idea slaughter or the idea cow? Now Musa came to them, hey, Allah says slaughter a cow. And they said to them, they said to Musa, you know what, actually, yeah, we get your message. Your God said we should slaughter a cow. However, you know what you do, Musa? It's not that we don't want to act, but what you do is, go to your Lord on our behalf, go to your Lord and say, Yubayyilana Mahiya. Tell him to explain to us what type of cow. What nonsense. What they were asked to do is slaughter a cow. Now, people have actually stepped the surface of the soil, and when you think about their God, it marvels you because this is Musa, the prophet of Allah, bringing you first-hand information from Almighty Allah, saying slaughter a cow. And now, just because you want to procrastinate, all right, what you would do is you say, idhu lana rabbaka yubayyin lana ma hiya. Tell us what type of cow. Okay, Musa patiently, when got the information. And when they kept sending Musa to and fro like pendulum. And when Musa gave them information, they would go, go back. Idhu lana rabbaka yubayyin lana ma la nura. You have given us information, but you see these cows, all right? They come in different shades of color, you see. Tell your Almighty Allah to give us a little bit more detail to work with, a little bit more detail in terms of the color, you see. Then we would say, okay, you brought us enough information to work with. Now, the devil literally was in the detail they were seeking, and it was the devil of what? Procrastination. Now they go to and fro until what was meant to be easy for them, all right, became difficult. And that is what happened. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be resolute on what you want to do. You have to remove all those limitations you have in your mind. Do not be scared to fail. You will fail in different ways in life. If you are moving and you are falling, as long as you're getting up and continuing, anytime you fall, that fall is a growth. Your fall ceases to be a growth and then become a failure only when you stop. So the Bani Israel, they just kept going to and fro, and they did not do what they were asked to do on time. They did not answer on time. And it was more difficult for them. By the time they were going to get the type of cow, maybe something like a yellow cow that has never been used on agricultural land, all right, Almighty Allah will use it to enrich some or another of his slaves. So they paid a fortune. Their procrastination cost them a lot. Are you going to act now to unlearn the learned helplessness around your life so that you don't pay a huge price for procrastinating? Because they got to a poor boy and they saw the kind of specific cow they were now looking for. And they said, oh, you are the one that has the cow. Yeah, I have the cow. But you didn't know they were stupid enough to show their desperation. And he charged them the weight of the cow in gold. So their procrastination cost them a lot. So you must know that by the time you sit down and you look at all those what do I want to be, or where do I want to be in 100 years or in 10 years time? You see, you're giving yourself excuses. Why 10 years time? Why not bring it close? Why not about 10 days time? Why not 10 months time? Why the 10 years? Is it just an excuse for you not to act? The monkeys in the cage, we say, okay, we don't want to climb now, but we'll climb later. But the clock is ticking. If they don't eat, they'll die. So learned helplessness, it's a very broad topic. You can approach it in terms of like individual development and even nation. You can approach it in terms of business. What aspect of your business do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in yourself enough for your customers to believe in you? Or you just feel, oh, you have actually established a cap for yourself. This is how high I can go. You will never go more than that. Some learned helplessness could be in terms of fear. Fear of what? It could be fear of mockery. Oh, if I do this, people might laugh at me. So your cold water treatment is just that people might laugh at you and you feel, oh, that might hurt. So what is actually making you do that? I mean, making you not take that step to actualize that groundbreaking initiative that Allah has put in your head, just like the monkeys not climbing that ladder, is just because you feel, oh, they might laugh at me. But let me say something to you. Every great idea in history, people laughed at it. For you to be great, people will laugh at you. Go far, far back, even during the time of Noah. If Noah had not actually reconditioned, if Allah had not helped him to recondition that aspect of learned helplessness that is scared of people laughing at him, do you think Noah would have completed the ark? Maybe you are not completing your ark with that ingenious idea sitting in your head because you think when you bring it to board, on board, people will laugh. It will be ridiculous. People laughed at Noah, but he went on doing what he should do. And the chief of those that laughed at him was his son. But he continued. Are you going to be bold enough to put that thing that you have in you? Are you going to bring it out? Are you keeping it in you, or you want to hold it out? You want to be courageous enough to take that next move? Noah continued. But when Noah continued, what happened? The ship sailed. If you want your ship to sail, you must be brave. If you want your ship to sail, you must say, good enough is good enough. I am good enough. Good enough is good enough. I am more than good enough. Good enough is good enough. If it can be done, I will do it. That is how a Muslim is. Let me say something to you. It is not your style. It is not what you do. If it is not your strategy, it is not a game you play. As a Muslim, you are allergic to nonsense, and mediocrity is just not in your character. Because it was not in the character of your Rasul, it was not in the character of those who were his companion and those who followed them. They were champions in all regards. Look at Mary, Maryam, the mother of Jesus. She is actually the most chaste woman that will ever step the soil. She was a woman of exemplary behavioral pattern. People would say, oh, I wish my daughter could be like Mary. But when Almighty Allah had a covenant with her, Allah had a mission for his life, for her life rather. Allah made people laugh at her because she got pregnant from nowhere. She was away for a short while and she got pregnant. And she came back. And when she came back, and they saw a baby with her. Oh my God. Oh, we used to think you're a good girl. Seriously? Ya hukta Harun, ma kana abu kimra sawin wa ma kana ummiki bagiya. Oh, you sister of Harun, your father wasn't a man of lewdness and iniquity. Your mother was a chaste woman. Where did you get a baby? When did you start this? But Almighty Allah already had covenant with Mary, saying she must not say a word. But she didn't go into the why me thing. Oh, why is this happening to me? Oh, if Almighty Allah really loved me, why is this happening to me? Oh, let me say this to you. You know what? What happened is I didn't really do anything. An angel just spoke to me and voila, and I just thought I'll have a baby. I don't know. You saved me. That's what Allah has done to me. When Allah puts you in a situation, you embrace it because your God knows what is good for you. And as I said, it is the law of things by the creator of things himself. For you to be great, you must be laughed at. Mary was laughed at. Ya hukta Harun, ma kana abu kibra sa'in wa ma kana ummiki bagiya. What type of disgrace is this? She didn't say a word. Fa'asharat ilayhi. She pointed to the baby. And they said, oh my God, this is really going over the top now. Really? Not only do you have a baby, how can you say to us, what an insult? How can you say to us to speak? How can you say to us to speak to a baby in the crowd? Allah shocked them. قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا وجعلني مباركا أينما كنت. The baby spoke to say, I am a prophet of Allah. And that woman you're talking about, you don't even have to talk to her that way. I am a prophet of Allah. I have been ordained to bring a book. She didn't chicken out because she was laughed at. Because greatness was about to happen. And when Allah wants greatness to happen, even the devil cannot do anything about it. Oh, I cannot leave that side of the Quran, although I won't go into that detail. I can't leave that side of the Quran without jumping some verses to go to another verse. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ رَبِّي وَرَبَّكُمْ فَاعْبُدُوهُ هذا صراط مستقيم. Say, my Lord is your Lord. Worship him. Because that is the right path. Who achieve greatness without being laughed at? So because you feel, oh, I'll be laughed at, I won't go and learn the Quran. How can I go and learn the Quran now? I'm 50 years old. How can I come and start with Alif Bata Sa? Now, your learned helplessness is actually the perceived lack of control around the feeling you are anticipating that you will get, all right, from laughter, from mockery. But if you know that that laughter does nothing to you, you will learn. You will learn, you will try things out. Even the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he only came with good message. For him to be great, people who call him Al-Amin started calling him Majnun. Don't get me wrong. You will feel bad when things happen. But Allah has solution for you, and you should trust your creator. That's why, somebody saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, hey, you are a madman. He said it, not me. He said, you are a madman. And the Prophet, like a human being, All right, he felt a little bit down. And Almighty Allah said, no, my prophet, don't have, that feeling. All right, Almighty Allah threw the feel-good factor to the prophet immediately. The prophet Almighty Allah said, no, walikalami wama yasturun, ma anta binihmatu rabbika bimajnun. Innaka la ajrun ghayrun mamnun wa inna Allaha al-khalqul adim. Allah quickly said to him that you are not a madman that person called you. You are indeed the best of creations. Because you need to feel good about yourself. The feel good factor is sunnah. That's why when the prophet looked in his reflection, he says, Alhamdulillah, Allahumma anta santa khalqi fa hassana khulqi. You must like what you see when you look at yourself. When you look at yourself, what impression do you have about yourself? Do you see somebody who is an helpless, mediocre, or do you see somebody who is a champion? It makes a whole lot of difference. And this you must tune into. Very important. Very, very important to tune into it. You might say, okay, wow, all right. Oh, he's just talking about, stories in the scriptures and whatever. Let's come down. Let's come down a little bit more. Well, there's always a controversy if it was Carl Benz or Henry Ford that actually gave us, that we should thank for having cars to drive now. Don't you think they were laughed at when they conceptualized that idea? Because before them, people were only driving around in horses and cats. If people like themselves didn't actually unlearn that learned helplessness of how hot, mockery would be, all right? Maybe we'll just be going around today with fatter horses and bigger cats, not the Lamborghinis that you have. So you must have trust in yourself. Do you know how ridiculous it would have been when Mark Zuckerberg actually conceptualized Facebook? Facebook, what's that? This is ridiculous. But is this still ridiculous? No. You need to believe in yourself. You need to always say to yourself that I am good enough. Allah has made me good enough. You need to unlearn all the learned limitations around your life. You need to recondition your thinking. It is a rewiring. That is what learned helplessness is. Now, it is a side of a coin. We'll talk about the other side of the coin at a later date. But this is just to establish that shift. What if one of those monkeys should just say, excuse me, we've actually just been sitting around and not climbing this ladder. Let's even take a step towards it. They would have realized that the cold water treatment stopped way back, generations before them. That ladder is the opportunity. Lots of them coming to you. Each step on that ladder is an opportunity. The bunch of banana is your aspiration. Are you just going to wait there and not really make any effort? You see, in life, to make progress, making progress and making excuses are two mutually exclusive skills. You either good in one or the other, but never both. Absolutely never both. Making good money and making excuses are two mutually exclusive skills. You either good in one or the other, never both. Making way in life and making excuses, two mutually exclusive skills. You either good in one or the other, never both. My father of blessed memory, fantastic man, I've never seen him before. I've never seen his life before. May Almighty Allah bless him where he is. I was in a drive with him. I come from a polygamous family. So we live in Lagos. My stepmother lives in Ibadan. So I do that drive with him at times. And those were the best moments of my life. Some things he shared with me then still lives with me now. There was a time he said, Yinka, I said, yes, Dad. He said, you know, a practicing Muslim is not an ordinary person. I said, why? He said, because a practicing Muslim A good Muslim who is connected with Allah is not a mere wallowing creature of circumstances. It conditions circumstances. I said, what do you mean? He said, because with one sujood, you can rock wonders. With just one sajda. So why would you have the why me then? Why would you think you are not good enough? When Almighty Allah is giving you direct connection with himself. May Almighty Allah put barakah. I'm going to summarize my presentation by sharing my slide again. Can we see my slide again?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. Now, so that's what we're saying. Now, learned helplessness is resignation, perceived lack of control. All right, perceived lack of control that will make you feel, oh, I can't achieve this, I can't achieve that. Let me say something again, an hadith that when people narrate it, it's as if, oh, the prophet is rahmatan lil alamin. It's a mercy for mankind. The prophet doesn't just go around cursing people. No, there was a man that the prophet was inviting to move away from I can't into I can. And several times the prophet was moving him from I can't, inviting him from I can't into I can. He refused. And all the prophet was to do is to say to him, you know what? If you say you can't, then you won't. The prophet said, La takulu bishimal. Fa inna shaytana yakulu bishimal wa yashrabu bishimal. Let me digress a little bit. Let today be the last time you put your left hand in your mouth. The same tongue you used to recite the word of Allah, you don't put it in your mouth. I mean, the same hand you used to clean yourself, you don't put that in your mouth. The Prophet ﷺ said, La ta'kulu bishimal. Do not eat with your left hands. Fa inna shaytana ya'kulu bishimal wa yashrabu bishimal. Because Shaitan eats and drinks with his left hand. So there was a man in front of the prophet sometime, and the prophet said he was eating with his left hand. And the prophet said, hey, eat with your right hand. He said, I can't. The prophet said, eat with your left hand, your right hand. He said, I can't. The prophet said, eat with your right hand. He said, I can't. And the prophet said, you wouldn't. May you not be able to. Because the prophet was inviting him to unlearn that perceived lack of control of his right hand in order to relearn how to enhance and empower his right hand. And tried as much as the prophet did, he was actually confirming to himself that he was not ready. As I said, learned helplessness is not how we respond to success, it's actually how we respond to failure. When things happen to you, do you go outward to see what to blame? Is the government of my country, is my parent? Or do you go inward to see what to change? What to change? If you heal the boy in you, the man appears. So learned helplessness is not a competence problem, it's a control problem, because the monkeys in that cage, of course, they are expert climbers. So it's not a competence problem, but they have this perceived lack of control that they cannot climb because of a cold water treatment that they've never ever experienced. So what are the cold water treatments in your life that you have never experienced, that you just feel, oh, you know what, I'm not good enough? What are they? You know them, you write them out. Write 3 things that you have not achieved, that you've been procrastinating. You've been procrastinating it. I told you before, procrastination is opportunity is a creation of Almighty Allah. He's a good friend, but he doesn't waste time with procrastinators. When you see opportunity, you grab it, you drop it like hot potato, it's gone. So what are those things? Write 3 things down that you have been procrastinating that you will not procrastinate anymore. These are a list of things that learned helplessness can do to you. Low self-esteem, frustration, passivity, lack of effort, lack of drive, lack of enthusiasm, blindness to your own potential. You've got potential in you if you can connect with that you in you that has been crying, shouting out to you to connect with it. It's shouting, connect with me. I want you to recondition and rewire the way you think about yourself and start seeing yourself as champions. Wasted opportunities. The ladder will always be on the wall. It doesn't mean you will climb it. For you to climb it, you have to unlearn all the learned helplessness in order to help yourself. Serial procrastination. You procrastinate everything, and it could lead to depression when you're not achieving things. And it could actually lead to the ultimate prize. Reason why people drop dead and throw themselves in front of the train. So it's something that you need to look after. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not turning you into a Superman overnight. All right? Don't get me wrong. I know it feels you hit a brick wall at times. I know that feeling, and I know it hurts. But what are you going to do about it? Are you going to break that brick wall to the other side and see a fantastic safari? Or are you going to make a 180-degree turn and take a step in the right direction? No matter how far you have been moving in the wrong direction, a 180 turn and taking a step means that you are moving in the right direction. Now, I know you feel confused at times. Life is full of confusion. I know you weep within. All right, but the question still remains, what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to be like those monkeys and just resign to the corner of, of the cage in your life, feeling sorry for yourself? Or are you going to act? Are you going to be like the children of Israel when Almighty Allah already gave them everything they want? And Musa says, slaughter a ram, slaughter a cow. They keep asking, so many questions, to. Or are you just going to be fafa'aluma tumarun? Do what you got to do. I know the load might be very, very heavy at times, and I know you might feel stuck. You're not stuck, I promise you, because Almighty Allah loves you more than for you to be stuck. I know what, hopelessness and, helplessness feel like, you want to give up and things like that. I know it comes in different shapes and form. It could be anxiety, you could feel scared, you could feel numb, you could feel like failure. All these things, you need to sit down to say, okay, what do I change about me? By the time you start changing, all right, you will see that you will move step by step towards actualizing your dream. You see, blamers, they rationalize failures, but changers reflect on failure. Blamers rationalize failure, changers reflect on failure. Because if you must learn how to ride a bike, you must first learn how to fall on a bike. Each fall is growth. That fall would be failure if only after you fall, you say, you know what, I'm never going to be able to ride a bike. So you stick that learned helplessness there. It stays with you for the rest of your life. Everything is in there. Allah has given you great wisdom. Allah has given you something so fantastic. Allah has given you something so fantastic. It's your mind. And that is what you will use to break the shackle. Now take a look at that elephant. All right. That elephant, all right, in India, this is what they do to elephant in India. What it is, when the elephant is still a baby, they just tie them to like a string, something like that. They tie them to a stake with a very small kind of rope, all right? And when the elephant actually grows up to a big elephant, they don't change the size of the rope. It's still the same size, but the elephant is learned to be helpless. It will believe that it cannot actually move away from that rope. Now take a look at that elephant in the picture. All right, it says, oh, this is how far I can go. And even after about 10 years, it is still saying to itself, oh, I wish I was not stuck to this stake. So so if you think you're stuck, you think you need to sort some things in your life, Allah is saying to you that Allah will not come to your rescue until you come to your rescue. Now, when I was making the monkey analogy, I wasn't insulting you. You are not a monkey, you are a Muslim. You're not a sad monkey, you are a smart Muslim. And as I said before to you, a Muslim is not a mere wallowing creature of circumstance, a Muslim conditioned circumstances. And when you learn to unlearn the learned helplessness in your life in order to help yourself, all right, you will free yourself and you'll be able to reach heights and places in your life. Then you'll be like an eagle, and your takeoff shall be phenomenal, and your landing, when you do land, will be magnificent. Now, we started with this scale. Now, I want you to take a look at the scale again. And now I'll ask you, when things don't go to plan, what would you do? Are you still going to be a mediocre by looking outward for something to blame, be it anything, and not climb that banana? I'm going to climb that ladder to reach for that banana? Or are you going to go inward to see what to change? I wish you joy and happiness. I wish you goodness in life. I wish you learning that will benefit you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan for the insightful topic. Prior to today, I've actually never heard of learned helplessness until now. But alhamdulillah for our brother who really shed light on this topic for us. Just a quick recap. He has shown us about how learned helplessness is about our response to failure, not response to success. Also about how it's a control problem and not one of competence. Also how this can lead to low self-esteem, frustration, passivity, lack of drive, wasted opportunity, depression. As Muslims, we have everything, alhamdulillah, and we're not just ordinary beings. Allah has provided us with resources to be greater, and also about how we can break the shackles and how we can learn to unlearn. And growing up, a lot of this is based on different subtle hints from our environment. A lot of things we've learned, which we've actually not even realized we've learned, but it's for us to look deep within us and unlearn them. And then this can then set us free and make us to be successful Muslims in this life and in the next. Jazakallah khair once again.
Do we have questions?
Yes, so in the questions, we have the first question. It says, at what point do people differentiate learned helplessness from acceptance of Allah's qadr?
Oh, that's a very good question. Fantastic question, actually. Now, there is a difference between accepting qadr and blaming qadr. You must be careful to draw a dichotomy. So when you will differentiate learned helplessness from qadr, is after you have taken the opportunity to climb that ladder. Now it is when you have made an option, you have taken a step. The monkeys in the cage, they can sit there all day long and say it's their qadr. It is only when they climb, make an effort. Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. So you must make an effort. So it is when you actually dichotomize between accepting qadr and blaming qadr. You don't sit down at home now and not go to work and not make any economic activity. And now you're hungry, your family is hungry, and you are saying, you know what, you must have tawakkul. You must have tawakkul. This is what Almighty Allah is programmed for us. You're talking nonsense. All right. What it is that when you make effort and you've made all the effort you can make, and you now pray, whatever Allah now gives to you, then is qadar. Without making effort and you sit down, you are blaming qadar, and that is learned helplessness. Any other question?
So there isn't any more question. I'm just going to check YouTube now. Let's see there. So we don't have any more question. If there's any question, please add it before we close.
Okay. If there's no more question, I would say to Tawfiq Abdusalam and the Muslim Platform team, thank you very much for this fantastic opportunity. And for everyone at home, thank you very much for allowing me into your space tonight. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan once again. Please remember to donate to the Muslim Platform. Our account number, just quickly share. Our account number is, that should be on the screen now. Yep. Okay. So the Muslim Platform, we are on a journey of enlightenment and empowerment. And if you've enjoyed this talk, please join us once again in the next week for the next episode. Also remember to donate, and remember us in your dua. Jazakallah khairan for everyone for joining us tonight.